Hi. Have you been thinking about getting new shocks to replace the stock shocks on your Harley? Well, I have for the past couple years, and I'm taking you on that journey. And today I'm going to look at the third brand that I've been checking out, and that's called the SuperShox. So hang out and find out what I discovered about SuperShox. Hello and welcome to Road Rush Nation. I'm Tara, your host here, and thank you so much for stopping by and checking us out. If you're a member of the nation, thank you. We really appreciate you being part of us. And if you'd like to be a member of the nation, it's free. All you need to do is give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget the bell so you don't miss out on any upcoming episodes. So for the past couple of weeks, I've been taking you on my journey of selecting shocks to replace the stock shocks on my beautiful 2021 Street Glide Special, the Arctic Blast, which is number 219 out of 500. Yes, I kind of love my bike. But let me give you a little background if you're new here and just discovering, is that we are going to be taking a couple of long rides this year. In fact, one of them will be down to Key West. I'm so looking forward to it. And we do cross-country trips, and I have wanted to pamper myself by getting some new shocks. And there's so many brands out there, there's so many kinds. It can be a little daunting, so I wanted to help you out by showing you what I select. But I just narrowed it down to 3 different brands. The first one were the Wilbers. The second brand was the Legends. And then this is the third brand called SuperShox. There's links to the other reviews and what I discovered will be at the end of this video. So make sure you check that out so you can see all the things I've checked out. Then next week, I'm gonna go through the pros and cons of each brand and tell you what I picked and why. Here's the big disclaimer. This is coming out of my own pocket. No sponsorship for any of this. This is my money that I'm earning, and it ain't from big YouTube money because I'm not making big YouTube money. So there's the reality of, is this realistic of what you could afford and what you could expect? So with that said, now let's go and check out SuperShox and check out their website. So let's take a look at the SuperShox website and get an idea about the company and the shocks. This is a company that is made their shocks in the United States. They're just out of Chicago. But one of the big things that drew me to them was, if you notice here, they have a racing history. They've been making shocks for outlaw sprint cars, and so they understand the shock world, and they also have been manufacturing these shocks since 1997. So that gives you a lot of history. Now, the reason the racing area appealed to me is I have a racing background, shall we say. A bazillion years ago, used to race on the drag strip and so on. Not professional, just sportsman class and so on. So I understand the mentality of a manufacturer that is in the racing field and how they have to have the quality, the consistency of their products. They get it. So that was one of the things that drew me to them. So let me just scroll down here a little bit. And you'll see this one here is for the racing side, and this is the SuperShox for the motorcycle side. And you'll see they've got links for the rider's guide, where to buy them, and so on. Just your typical things that you will have on any site. So let's get more into the shock. So here's the shock, and it's got the dial. It is not the air ride. It's not like the first one that we looked at, the Wilbers. It's not self-adjusting. You set this up for the weight of you and also your rider or your luggage. So you want to be comparable to that, which is the same things as the Legend Rev A's that that I've been looking at also. Like I said, this is similar to the Rev A's, but let's get into the product component details, because let's face it, that's really where the meat and potatoes are. So it's got your machining, your calibration scale, you've got your dust cover, your monotube for your separate gas chamber, springs to suit the rider weight, the engineering bump, and so on. And you'll see you get a lot of details on each one of these components through the drop downs that they have. And you'll see that their bearings are going to be race quality. That's something that you don't necessarily get from other manufacturers. There's hundreds of motorcycle shock manufacturers out there, and you could do an endless search and never make a decision. But this was something that appealed to me, and one reason I put SuperShox into the running for my final selection. You'll see here's your calibrated scale on how that works and how they've, it's a little bit different than what Legends has on theirs, but these are real easy to see and to adjust the riding. And like I said, they will adjust towards that total weight. So you need to make sure you've got that. Let's check out the easy turn. And they give you good instructions on how far you need to turn that. I will tell you that's a lot of times that's the difficult thing, is to realize how far do you have to turn it. I know on our stock ones, you keep turning and turning and you think you've adjusted and you've gotten nowhere. These are good for explaining that. Your springs, of course, to suit your rider weight. So if you have over 500 pounds is probably a good level to look at. So you get what you need, not some off-the-shelf, one-size-fits-all combination. That's what we end up getting. And you try to make it fit for you, and it doesn't always give you the best ride. So you get what you pay for, so to speak. SuperShox has a couple of really good videos on their website, and we're going to go ahead and take a quick look at them. This first one here is a street glide over a speed bump going 20 miles an hour. So let's take a look at this one. Here's another great one that they have on their YouTube channel that has the bobber test. So if you see the little bobber here, take a look at this as they go over the bumps. This is a good example to show you the shock and how it works. Hopefully that gave you a little background on the SuperShox and an idea of the quality and what their shocks are like and how they perform. Now comes the big question, how much? So you have to click on here and you'll see it says request a quote. What I would check is make sure you go through and check to see if there's a rep within your area. I will tell you my local Harley dealership, Worth Harley Davidson here in Kansas City, has a contact there, Butch, who will make the contact for you. What I was quoted from what my riding needs are, it would be approximately $800 for a set of SuperShox for me. They did give a lead time at the very first of 2023 of 3 weeks. When we talked to them last, because I was getting all my information, they said it could be sooner. Just as soon as if I was wanting to order them, let them know, and they would give me a timeline to get that done. So check. And then, of course, there's always the install. If you're going to install them yourself, no problem. SuperShox will help give you some information. They are very easy to get a hold of. But like I said at the beginning of my search, I am going to have someone install them, whether it's the... Well, hopefully you found that information helpful and interesting. Don't forget there will be a link in the description so you can go check out SuperShox website and find out some more information on them. Also, don't forget at the end of this, there will be a link to the other videos that review the Wilbers and the Legends. So next week is the big reveal. I'm pretty excited to show you what I picked and why. So we'll go through the pros and cons, and it's realistic, guys. It's not just, oh, they sent her money, they sent her a set of Shox, they sponsor her, blah, blah, blah. This is not a sellout. This is why I picked it and what I picked. So don't forget, thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ride safe. And I look forward to finding you out there on the highways and doing some riding together. Take care.